Hello, I'm Emma. Welcome to my podcast. This is literally my first time doing a podcast because I'm such an introverted person. I really don't know what to say in front of the camera. I just get intimidated. I just came across this Google Meet avatar, which was so funny, and it kind of fits the timing well because I'm turning 20 today. Yeah, it's my birthday. I wanted to do a retrospective of my past year, which was totally insane. It felt too long to post the text and images, so I decided to do a podcast instead. Since it's my first one, so please bear with me if I mess anything up or repeating myself. Yeah, so this past year was insane because I did a lot of things. For a bit of a context, if you don't know me, I'm a year 3 undergrad at NUS, the National University of Singapore. Before that, I was born and raised in Shanghai, went to public school, did the Gaokao, which is Chinese, college entrance examination, which was pretty stressful, and I used that result to apply to NUS. Surprisingly, I got in and started studying quant finance and computer science. Now I'm based in New York, so you might see my posting times look a little bit weird because I'm in New York City. I'm not a typical student doing a quant finance major at NUS. I'm pretty rebellious. During my first semester, I didn't focus enough on studying, even though I took 8 courses, which was insane. That's the maximum workload if you're not appealing for overloading. I thought I would still get a great GPA, but I ended up didn't, because I didn't have enough time to do all the coursework. I also wanted to do a second major in computer science, and I took too many math and CS courses on top of QF courses. For one math course, I even intentionally chose the hardest version, which I regretted. It dragged my GPA down. But as a side note, I'm kind of rambling, forgive me. During my first semester, I tried to join as many CCAs as possible. If you knew me, in my first year at NUS, I did tons of entertainment CCAs. Sports, dancing, singing, so many hobbies, so many different things, including volunteering. But in year 2, I just wanted to do something more technical and related to my profession. So I joined NUS Invest, NUS FinTech, Google Developer Student Club, and the NUS Student Union, of course, where I somehow became a director of one department, which is insane. I didn't even run in the election. They elected me as the technical director because they mistook my name for another guy's. The other guy didn't want the role, so I ended up as a technical director. Totally funny. I also joined a lot of mentorship programs, hackathons, activities, and networking events. I was doing a lot of side projects too. I didn't even realize I wouldn't be able to juggle everything. If you look at my LinkedIn, I literally joined dozens of CCAs at the same time, and I couldn't cope with them well because I was also doing hackathons. I poured a lot of time into hackathons because I love them. You learn a lot faster during the hackathon in a short period. Getting me new teammates, coordinate on new projects, learn new things, and apply them to practical cases. It's very pragmatic for me. I learned a lot, and even one of the hackathons, I kind of founded a startup out of it. And it got into Hong Kong sort of incubation program, but I didn't manage to cope with it because I cannot afford the salary for my co-founders, and I didn't have time. But I kind of also won a lot of other hackathons, which was kind of an add-on to my profile. After that, things just starting to get weird. I randomly got an internship from a crypto company, a really big layer 1 blockchain. For NDA reasons, I won't say the name. I worked closely with the CEO who was really insightful, really rich, I would say. I did a lot of crypto projects with him, and I did office work and even handled his Twitter account. Some of the posts I posted even went viral, so it was funny. And the more funny thing is I didn't even get to this company by applying. I wasn't even interested in crypto at the time, even though I did already done hackathons in cyber engineering and blockchain and had joined the NUS FinTech Society blockchain department. But they just came to me and offered the job, literally. At first, I thought it was a scam, but I tried my luck in getting, which was still funny to me. Once I joined, I did a lot of coding and research in crypto. A lot of projects, interesting things, and conversations with people who were deeply immersed in this field for years. They were strong believers in decentralization, which I also believed in. I learned to code smart contracts and picked up a lot of terminologies and industrial insights from the boss. I even had my wallet stolen once. My entire salary was gone. I was using it for tuition. I was so pissed. I had stored funds in MetaMask and kind of clicked a phishing link somewhere. I don't even remember where. And my entire wallet just got drained. My browser got compromised because of hacking. That was my first real lesson that this field is fun but full of risks. After that, I quit the job. I was doing the internship while juggling school, CCA, hackathons, projects. It was time to prepare for exams. I literally didn't go to lectures. Then I joined another crypto company for winter internship, doing crypto trading and research at an infra company. I traded coins and future for the boss and learned a lot about strategies. What he was doing with his Bitcoin, a lot of ETH storage. I wasn't expecting to earn money for him, but I ended up making a lot, over 100K per day, using my own strategy. Yeah, he was exhilarated every day, waking up and asking me about the revenue. And he was so happy that he even assigned 2 software engineers to me and told I can have them work on anything I wanted. He even asked me how to raise his child to be as smart as me because I made him a lot of money. So, yes. But the money-making thing wasn't written to company contract. So when I went to renegotiate the commission fee, like the percentage of the commission, because originally it was only 2.5%, that was totally unfair, but he didn't agree upon that. I got so pissed, so I just quit. We arranged the call, he knew I wanted to renegotiate, but he still wouldn't raise it above 2.5%. I was like, what the hell? I didn't even think it was a smart decision to risk losing me and the revenue I generated for him, right? Or maybe he thought I wouldn't dare to quit because at the time I was in the UPay program for my second semester, like a credit-bearing course, you would say. You kind of need a company supervisor or your credits are screwed. So maybe he wasn't afraid I'd leave because of that. So yeah, but I got pissed, so I just quit and found another company quickly. There wasn't even a formal termination. It was funny. He just kept me out of the group chat. And the later things you all knew, I took my strategy out and started doing it on my own. I found a great incentive plans to onboard as a VIP trader. And you can imagine that I later became a top volume trader on some centralized exchanges. For privacy reasons, I won't share details here. If you're interested more in my quant trading experience, I can definitely talk more in my later episodes. Right after that, I found another company, a really big L1 where I did CEO office research. I attended lots of meetings, but the culture was toxic. People constantly talk behind each other's back. And since my manager, who is the head of research, he and I had a good relation and we're both pretty flexible and anti-rigid office culture, kind of. We didn't like lunching with other colleagues every day and stay in the office. So my manager's boss got mad at us. In every meeting, my manager just got blamed, And I felt really bad because he often defended me. After a month, he got fired. That was new to me because I never had my direct manager got fired. And suddenly I had to do all his work because the department became just me. I could call myself the head of research because I was the only one in this department. But I was still paid an intern salary, which was unfair, so I wasn't going to do that. At the same time, I was trading on my own and doing well, but that meant I needed to keep improving my strategy daily, staying up late because crypto is traded 24 hours. I was exhausted at my day job, but I still finished the work. I'm not lying. I just wanted a quick rest in some sort of phone booth, the small private ones in co-working spaces, I took a short nap there and got called by the CEO, who was furious. I only slept less than 30 minutes, but he was mad and basically fired me. Yeah, but technically I resigned. I kind of fought it back. I said, why would you expect me to do a full-time senior's role for such a low pay? He said he talked to HR. Anyways, that was my last month. Funny thing is, I still passed the UPay program because my recently fired manager remained my supervisor on paper. He and I became really good friends. We talked a lot about trading. He started doing crypto trading after our chats at work, and he was doing well on Coinbase. I feel really happy for him. He recently got another job at NUS Enterprise, which is much better than the previous company. He has a really cute daughter, by the way. I adore her. So that was my 2 crazy internship experiences. Not smooth at all. I've had a lot more to say, but the short version is don't try to do too many things at once. Don't burn out. You're a human being. You can't stretch the day past 24 hours, and you need at least 6 hours of sleep. Don't pretend you can sleep 2 hours a day like those grind influencers. It's not sustainable at all. I've tried during my first week at the second internship while trading, sleeping under 4 hours total that whole week, and I was dying. I never want to relive that. Looking back at the internships, CCAs, hackathons, I'd say focus on one thing that's most helpful and fulfilling, and always take care of your backup plan. By that I mean, if you're doing an internship, also take care of your courses and GPA. They're your fallback. Even if your internship or startup fails, don't drop out of school. Keep the basics intact. Another lesson is, don't force yourself to do things you don't like. If you don't want to do it, don't. Be honest and move on. You'll eventually find a place where you actually enjoy working if you're employed. But if you're self-employed, that's great. You just need strong self-motivation. I share my own self-employment story later. Now, working in New York, I find the culture amazing. People are nice. There's real mentorship, reasonable working hours, good salary, good benefits. They even have a buffet every week and free breakfast, lunch, and dinner daily. People celebrate your birthday. The working culture is kind of fantastic and way beyond my expectations, especially since it's a small startup still. That's my normal path from the last year. Now onto my crypto exposure. I would like to say more about that because I got into crypto by doing a lot of events and meeting people. I like this field not because of the money. At first, I wasn't making any, but because the vibe fits me well. I love exploring new things, and I'm curious about people and what they're building. In this field, there's either amazing stuff or total nonsense coming out every day. The market can change suddenly, and people come up with the ideas you can't even wrap your head around. It's a mixture of technical innovation and fun. When I first saw Dogecoin, I thought, how does this even exist? Why would people create something like that? But it's interesting. It's a culture. People believe in it like a religion. I wouldn't say I believed at first, but after I made my first money, I believed. I went to Token 2049. I love travel. So I went to lots of hackathons abroad, like Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Bangkok, Hong Kong, Shanghai, Beijing, Shenzhen, so many cities for crypto events. I even went to Malaysia. I traveled a lot even my first and second semesters while juggling everything else. I quit some tutorials because I didn't have time. My GPA dropped a lot. In year 1, I had a perfect 5.0, but in year 2, it kind of sucks. In my second semester, after I founded the company, I met someone who became my ex-co-founder. He's not my co-founder anymore. I needed an institutional entity in Singapore in order to do market making. But I didn't want to pay director fees because I wasn't making much then. But he was doing kind of a lot of illegal business. For privacy reasons, I won't go into details, but our conflicts escalated until we split. That's a sad story, especially when I was just 19 years old. I haven't experienced this kind of legal cases before. And then he tried to screw me over. He sent letters to the exchanges I was working with, my collaborators, investors, to ruin my reputation. And his own reputation was already terrible, and most didn't believe him, but it still sucked. One of my accounts even got banned, and some of my funds are still locked in there. It was awful experience. Sometimes you meet shitty people like that. There were originally red flags about him. He was in financial trouble, older, divorced, he had nothing, but he just liked to screw you over because you have a brighter future than him. Honestly, after he joined, I paid him more than he deserved. Too many details. I won't go deeper. If you're interested, I can tell this full story someday in a full single episode. It's insane. I dealt with this so much. Even with a small company, there was a lot of conflicts, a lot of politics. I nearly ruined my student life by being associated with someone doing shady things like that. My biggest takeaways from trading prop work and crypto exposure are, first, look for opportunities. Be proactive, curious, and open. Try lots of things, but don't burn out. Within that boundary, push beyond your comfort zone, talk to people, connect with new things, and try to learn. Learning is the most important part. After you pick up new terms or insights from people, go back and study on your own. Build a framework and deep dive. Just talking to people isn't enough. Combine it with real study so it becomes yours. That's my biggest takeaway. Always be learning. I learn fast, I like learning new things, and I can connect insights across industries. If you're like that, or want to be, do what I do. Secondly, be open on social media. Get exposure. If you're not doing anything illegal or too sensitive, put yourself out there. You don't have to be posting sensitive business stuff, but build a consistent personal image and be visible. Opportunities don't come to you. You have to prepare yourself and put yourself where opportunities are densest. They're not evenly distributed. I actually got my first collaborator via a WeChat moment. I used to worry I was oversharing, posting too often on WeChat and LinkedIn. Some people did get annoyed, but don't care about that. If even one valuable connection finds you, it's worth it. Ignore the noise. Third, fake it till you make it. I should do a whole episode on this, oh my god. It's my top takeaway this year. I got into the NOC program, landed internships, started businesses, and led CCAs because I faked it till I make it. But fake it has nuance. Don't lie in a way that's obviously fake. Say things that are reasonable and achievable soon, and then work hard to make them real. It's not about scamming anyone. It's about using opportunities as a platform to grow faster. So what you claim becomes true. It shouldn't take years. Aim to make it real quickly. Start now. For me, this approach pushed me out of procrastination. Honestly, before I first told people I made a lot from day trading, I hadn't even started real day trading, and I was losing money. When I told other people I was doing quant trading and doing high-frequency trading, I wasn't even developing a single trading bot. But I don't recommend that exact lie. It just happened to work out for me and create opportunities. You should find an approach that really suits you. When I spoke to my admission manager about why I chose this entrepreneurship program, a lot of what I said was exaggeration or boasting. But I did achieve it within a month. That's the point. If you're motivated and truly capable of achieving it soon, go for it. It's also a form of manifestation. Act like the people you want to become, and you will start getting the same outcomes. Fourth, don't care about people talking trash behind your back. In crypto, especially as a young woman who seems to be doing well, people assume shady stuff. I've heard it all. I don't care. If you perform at a higher level, you will naturally have fewer people around you. You don't need a huge circle. Find people who really resonate with you. If you feel secure in yourself, you won't feel lonely. If you go to events alone or pursue something you're passionate about while others don't get it and criticize you, you might be on the right path. There are fewer competitors and more opportunities in those spaces. There are people outside your current circle. Expand into theirs and you will grow. About building a business, I tried a lot. I'm not that interested in being employed long-term, so in the past year, I founded several startups, aside from my crypto trading one, which is more likely a shell for market making. My suggestion is look for what you don't know and approach it. Talk to founders, get de-delusion from the highlight reels. In-person connections help. Join entrepreneurship societies. Ask for intros, DM people on LinkedIn for advice. You'll learn their real stories and see if you identify with them. Take the useful parts, then do it yourself. Don't sit and overthink. There are tons of things you can start with, zero or low cost. If you lack capital, start small. There's so much you can do with AI, finance, and small businesses without big upfront money. Simple strategies aren't for everyone, but that's my takeaway from my entrepreneurship attempts. And again, don't forget your backup plan. If you're building the business, commit and keep your basics secure. I feel like I'm talking too much, but before I wrap up, there's something useful for young women, especially any young people who've listened so far. Don't get beaten down by insecurity. Always believe in yourself and build security from within. I've always heard people asking me how I've been brave enough to move to countries alone, handle all the luggages, housing, finances, study, work, friends, even relationships by myself. It's because I can adapt anywhere, and my passion is my home. I don't have a fixed place I imagine I stay forever. My inner self gives me security. My confidence comes from myself. I'm grateful for myself and my past experiences because they made me who I am. I'm not grateful for the shitty things I've experienced. I still hate that people hurt me, and I won't forgive some of them. But I won't let it control my current emotions. I'm grateful to my past self for walking through the confusion and struggle to find a way out. I'm not ashamed of not being good enough back then. I was just fighting things out. Without those phases, I wouldn't be who I am now. So love yourself more, and I hope everyone gets to enjoy a happy birthday when their day comes. Thank you.